begin by asking the marketers on the panel over here, what are the biggest challenges that marketers face today staying agile and efficient in this, rapidly evolving digital space? Let's begin with you, Tushar.
So especially with the post-pandemic world, I mean, there has been a rapid evolution of digital landscape as we know, and there's a complete fragmentation today of the media landscape. Now, traditionally being a mass marketeer, the one yardstick we had was SOV, GRPs, TV advertising, where a lot of our budgets were kept. But now that we look at Gen Zs, who is a very important cohort for us, Gen Zs are not on TV, they are digital. So if you want to reach out to Gen Zs, digital is extremely, extremely important. And thirdly, what's happening is that experiential marketing is back with the bang today. So the need of the hour is an integrated marketing approach where messages are spread across all mediums so that you reach out to different consumer perspectives. Secondly, what also is happening is that you want to have multiple conversations with your consumers, and that's where digital comes in. Because when you look at your TV advertising, there's one consistent message. For example, at Bisleri, we've got the Drink It Up campaign with Deepika Padukone. So that's running across TV for the full year. But if I want to have a conversation with the consumer on sustainability, on sports, on tech, that's where digital comes as an opportunity for us to engage the consumers.
Murthy, tell us.
So I'd like to think of it like being a chef who has to cook a broth or has to cook a meal. And there are a lot of guests who are going to come, and everybody has got a preference for something or the other. Plus, we are living in a world of intermittent fasting. मैं थोड़ा ही खाऊंगा, मैं 24 घंटे से मेरा उपवास चल रहा है. So all of this also happens. So the biggest thing that I struggle from, and I bought the chef deliberately, is what should I make? What is my story? So as a marketer, I struggle for stories because the attention of my audience is fragmented into multiple pieces. The second thing I worry of is that while this story will fit in a 45-second ad, will it fit on a small reel which will just go through? Because the same story has to continue. So one is the quality of the story. Two is the amount of content that I have. Because as he was also mentioning, that audiences are absorbing media 24/7 all the while. And therefore, to be a relevant brand, how do I go out and create a lot of stories? And if you allow me a little bit of an indulgence, I think one of the brands which has really done it all well is a gentleman called as Mr. Bachchan, who's on KBC. And there are segments which he speaks about, which also goes on the reel. There are people who sit and see the entire episode of KBC. And as marketers, we've got a lot to learn from him, because today when he tells a 17, 18-year-old kid, say, "Aaiye, hamara bet ke kaun banega crorepati khelte," it gives the same goosebumps as much as a 70-year-old person can come. So I think that's the go-to point for me.
Saurabh, over to you. Given the complexities of what these two gentlemen spoke about right now, what are some of the key metrics that marketers should focus on in 2025?
I think marketers today need to move just beyond measuring clicks and CTRs. They also need to measure what's moving people. If I talk from the perspective of brand, or if I talk from the perspective of performance, there are metrics like conversions, ROAS, etc. They are to stay. But marketers also need to add a smarter layer of measuring viewability and attention, and asking questions like, was my ad actually seen? What was the time in view of my ad? Was my ad engaged with? Was there a focus on my ad? Because there are a lot of accidental clicks that are happening today. There are a lot of fake lead generation that's happening today. So it's not just about being on screen, it's about being in focus. And if I talk from the perspective of brand matrix, obviously awareness, sentiment, NPS, share of voice, etc. are there. But marketers also need to ask, did my ad land in a safe, suitable, and emotionally relevant space?
And safe environment.
Exactly. And, did that environment reflect my brand values? And it's not around any junk content. Because, it's other than reach, it's also about gaining that trust. And I think marketers today are connecting the dots and including media quality, attention, and outcomes together.
Yeah. I saw Tushar nodding very aggressively. So are those the questions that you ask your agency? And apart from that, what else do you ask for?
The answers I'm seeking today is a regulated environment for digital marketing, where you're getting metrics back. Like in TV, it's pretty much regulated. You know what your GRPs is. What is it that's going to happen for digital landscape? Is OTT advertising going to be a black hole? where you do not know where your money is actually going. What is the frequency? A lot of post-eval happens to that, but there is no set structure. So which is what we are actually looking forward to, because eventually you want ROI on what you're investing behind. So I think it's a very important question.
Yeah, and Murthy, over to you. How are you allocating budgets across performance marketing and brand building efforts?
Yeah, so one is that I want to admit in all consciousness and humility that different brands are in different stages of evolution. So when you look at somebody which is like a brand like Tata, which has been there for about 150, 170 odd years, their allocation of budgets overall will be far different than what an allocation of a brand like ours will be. Because hum to abhi ubhre hain, in the sense that we have just come out of our core market, which was Kerala, and the last 3-4 years we've been really out there, and we have a brand ambassador. So to that extent, my budgets will be skewed towards ATL, because I need to go out and generate demand. I need to go out and tell people that here I am and this is what I go out and do for the business, and then there will be performance. However, I just want to touch on a thing. I think comparing brand marketing and performance on the same stage, I'm sure you've heard of this all through the morning, is not fair. It is like telling that, Rachit Ravindra and Sachin Tendulkar are the same people. No. He has spent about 25 years of time, and he can definitely pick a lot from the brand. So the performance could, like in a telescoping kind of a manner, the performance could be the furthest link, whereas the brand is the core. And the entire story gets built over about 50, 60, 70 years.
Coming back to IPL, as I mentioned right in the beginning, the IPL craze is on right now. In this, how do brands ensure strong outcomes during IPL? Any insights for us, Saurabh? Also, given the fact that, we have like the team members who created like the most talked about IPL campaign this season for Dream 11. Nitesh is right here in the audience. And we loved the way in which it garnered attention, the kind of storytelling it had. And the most talked about feature, of course, was the star cast of, the campaign, with cricketers, with Amir Khan, with Ranbir Kapoor, into brackets Singh. So it garnered a lot of attention. But Saurabh, from you, I want to hear, what are some of the things that brand could do right around this time, given it's the biggest property, not biggest cricketing property, it's the biggest property for the year?
Yeah, that's true. I think thousands of crores are being spent at IPL every season, and the number is growing. And I think there are few things. First, go omnichannel. Just go beyond one screen. IPL is everywhere. Consumers are scrolling, they're tweeting, they're shopping during matches. And using a cross-channel strategy to gather that fragmented attention across open web, social, and mobile is really important. And second, go contextual. Align your brand creatives with key IPL movements. Gather that particular attention. And at IAS, we did a study and we found that 75% of the consumers say that they make a perception of the ad with the context around it. And 35% of the users said that they find it really annoying seeing ad in unrelated content. And thirdly, I would say measure metrics that matter and also optimize on them. Have basic hygiene factors like brand safety, viewability, and go a layer above measure attention, and also optimize on those numbers for better ROI and ROAS.
Finally, before we go, and we are running short on time, what is that one key prediction that you would like to make for digital advertising going forward in 2025? Let's, Tushar, begin.
So I think the integrated media landscape that I've spoken is pretty much a reality right now. So brands will have monies allocated toward digital, and large amount of money allocated toward. So you will see a rapid expansion in this industry, along with regulation also hopefully coming in.
Murthy?
So I would think that, again, there is a context to it. As large and global your brand is, you'll be under pressure for costs, you'll be under pressure for profit, so you'll go more and more measurable performance and that kind of stuff. Whereas if you're a mid-sized bank, you're a mid-corporate, you're a new brand, I think you'll have to invest a lot in the non-digital kind of a space. And I would want to take a punt or have a hunch saying that in India, you will still see a lot of the ATL moving far more, because it is the moment of the mid-market, mid-tier segment in India. That's the reason why.
Sure. Final thoughts, Saurabh?
I think one trend that I have personally seen is growing, and which is here to stay, is connected TV. We all know that digital is growing, video is growing, and within that, CTV has taken a premium space. In 2023, there were almost 28 million CTV households. By end of 2025, there'll be 50 million CTV households. And because of that, ad-supported streaming is on rise, and why not? CTV gives much more measurability, and brands can track and optimize on real-time basis.
Great. Thank you so much. Thanks for joining us, Tushar, Murthy, and Saurabh.
I want to leave you with a thought which AI won't tell you. There were 3 gentlemen with beard and a lovely lady doing this interview. So thank you for the interview.